Now, I want to introduce a painting of Ushnishavijaya. Ushnishavijaya is a tantric Buddhist deity who's quite well known for prolonging life and longevity and health. But she's also, according to the tantric text, she's also known for helping to increase intellect and wisdom and knowledge, writing skills, memory skills, and whatnot. Now, Ushnishavijaya, yes, has different types, and this type, which is really the main form coming out of several different texts, Sanskrit texts, but 3 faces and 8 arms, and white in color, seated in a Vajra posture. Now, what's important about this painting is really not necessarily the figure of Ushnishavijaya. We have many, many good examples, and we have many masterworks, both painting and sculpture, that depict Ushnishavijaya. Now, what's special about this painting is it's not in an overtly Tibetan style. This is actually Chinese, comes out of Beijing. It's 18th century, and it's done during the Qianlong period. And there are many, many paintings that are in the same general composition and format as this. And they can be Buddhas, they can be other generally peaceful deities. Generally, they're bodhisattvas, they're the 8 great bodhisattvas, they're green Tara, white Tara, Marichi, the 5 Pancharaksha protector goddesses. But they all have a similar format where they have the very large central figure. Then they very often have 2 figures at the lower right and left. And more often than not, it will be a white Tara and a green Tara. And then at the top, there will be a Buddha figure. In this case, it's an Amitayas Buddha. Actually, Ushnishavijaya is a form of Amitayas. It is actually Amitayas appearing as this 3-faced, 6-armed figure. When it became female rather than male over time, we don't really know, but it's likely it happened in India over 1,000 years ago when this kind of conversion transformation took place. Now, you'll also notice that there are on either side of the Amitayas, red in color, seated at the top center. Then there's 4 white figures that are standing on clouds and holding various objects. Now, these are celestial gods and goddesses, and they're making offerings and showing respect to the Buddha and to the figure of Ushnishavijaya. Now, what's very prominent in this painting is at the top, we have these blue and green clouds that are white tinged at the top. And then we have some white ones lower down. Then we have this green-blue landscape that extends from the center of the composition all the way to the very bottom. Now, this is a particular style. This is what we call a Beijing or a Chungde painting style of the 18th century. Chungde is a name of a town. It's just north of Beijing and slightly, I think, to the east, and it's much more in a mountainous area. And the Qianlong Emperor of the 18th century, he was very keen to entice Mongols, certain Mongols back from really almost the Middle East, almost Kazakhstan area, heading towards the western part of Asia. And what he did is he built a replica of the Potala Palace, the large palace structure at the center of Lhasa that stands on top of the red hill, the Marpo Hri. And then, so he needed to decorate this palace and these temples and architectural structures that he created in Chungde at this religious center. And so he had many, many, many paintings commissioned. So these paintings are actually in a more of a larger format. I think it's several feet tall. and maybe 1.5 feet or more wide, maybe 2 feet wide even. And these are not meant for personal use. These are meant to hang in temples and to decorate temple space and hallways and entranceways, and to look very grand and to look very opulent and very wealthy. And so we have dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of these paintings, all in the same measurements, all in the same basic format, to hang together in a series on either side of the walls of these temples to make them attractive and to make the occupants and to make the visitors feel overwhelmed and surprised and happy. And so this is a kind of art for decoration, or almost for even it's a kind of commodity in that way, in that it's not meant really as a religious object, other than to decorate a religious sanctuary of some kind. So there are many types of this type of composition, this compositional type, and they are known as either Beijing or Chengde style 18th century paintings, and they are very easily recognizable once you look at 2 or 3 or 4 of these paintings, which you can find on the HAR website. So we'll leave it there. You can press like, you can subscribe, you can join HAR on Patreon, you can make a donation on the homepage of Himalayan Art Resources.